So this video absolutely explains why Khamzat Chimaev fought the way he fought at UFC 319, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to fight that way for the rest of his life, because from the looks of it, his life depends on it. Now let's go over this. Let's just play the video. Essentially what we're looking at here is somewhere in Chechnya. Oh, that goes real quick. Hold up. So this is Chechnya. I don't know what his son's name is, but this little fat Jorge Masvidal from 2017 has Khamzat's belt in his left hand, which is fine, I guess. But he doesn't take the belt back. Look at this. Look, it's like he gave it to him. Khamzat Chimaev doesn't give a shit about the belt. This wasn't a narrative. No, Khamzat's life is in active danger. That belt is not an athletic accomplishment for him. That belt is a ticket to his family's safety. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm saying that because I was directed to an article that I wasn't aware existed. It happened in 2023. It was a Guardian article. Essentially, what this article is doing is laying out the playbook for how Ramzan Kadyrov deals with athletes who don't do what he says. So we know, based on this article, if certain things happen to Khamzat Chimaev in the next few months to years, we're at least going to be able to expect his fate. So let's just get into this thing. We have the mysterious death of Chechen dictator Ramzan Kadyrov's favorite fighter. Abdul-Kerim Edilov was an MMA veteran as well as one of the most influential men in his homeland, and then he disappeared from public life. So this is a guy who fought in the UFC. In fact, his career record, if I could close these goofy eyes, was 17-4. He was pretty good, but his home dog, Ramzan Kadyrov, decided that he was going to promote Abdul-Kerim Edilov to, what was it? The deputy prime minister in Chechnya. This dude went from MMA fighter to like vice president for Chechnya. So you go, okay, he's serving in his country's government. It's probably more important to him than fighting for the UFC, that's totally fine. Except on the 29th of December, 2022, 4 days after the holiday, I don't know if they celebrate. Do they celebrate Christmas? They celebrate the Orthodox Christmas. So that's even worse. 8 days before Christmas, Chechen activists reported that our old pal, UFC fighter who fought once, Edilov, had died suddenly on that day, but the circumstances surrounding his death were unclear. Which is creepy, of course, but then you go down a little further and it gets even creepier. It's talking about Edilov's life story. He basically graduated from being a fighter to being what this guy calls a glorified babysitter for Kadyrov's 3 teenage sons. And that is where I officially get scared. They off this dude who was a beloved mentor for Kadyrov's teenage sons. A week before Christmas, they off that dude, deleted all of his social media accounts. This dude doesn't exist. And now who comes to replace him 2 years later? Well, Khamzat Chimaev. Uh-oh. He's the guy now. He's the guy who, if he doesn't do what Ramzan Kadyrov wants him to do, if he doesn't play all of his cards perfect, and even if he does play his cards perfect, he's gonna get smoked. The only thing that's saving Khamzat, I'm sure Khamzat knows this too, but Khamzat has not taken a place in the government yet. Abdul-Kerim Edilov was promoted to deputy prime minister in Chechnya, which put him in a much higher position than just being a UFC fighter who represents Chechnya. And all he did was have a small falling out with Kadyrov and fucking smoked. Done. Bam. Missiled that dude. Where's his wife? Did he have a wife and kids? Where's this dude's wife and kids? Smoked. That's where. Smoked. Cut throats in a really deep square grave somewhere. So knowing all this information, that why did I not know it before? This right here becomes exponentially more creepy. The only son of Ramzan Kadyrov's who's got a eating problem. He's like, what's that bitch's name from Willy Wonka? Yeah, Violet Beauregard. He's the Violet Beauregard of shitty Russian nothings who have to fucking leech. God, now you got me feeling bad for Khamzat. Now I'm feeling bad for Khamzat. I've gone from hating him in his life. Because look, the ultimate reality is your opinion doesn't mean shit and my opinion doesn't mean shit if Khamzat Chimaev is fighting for his life. If Dricus du Plessis was the least scary person on Khamzat's mind when he fought him, which I think that was the case, our opinions don't mean shit to Khamzat. He's gonna fight the safest he possibly can to keep that belt around that little dipshit's waist for as long as he remains the champion of the UFC. And you know what? I can't blame him. That's a scary video, bro. And what's worse is that he's locked in where he can't He has to live this life and he has to suffer through this life, but he can't say anything about it. He could get on the camera right now and say, guys, I'm not fighting this way to be boring. I'm fighting this way because they have 3 of my nieces on meat hooks and they're not going to take them off until I bring this stupid belt back to Dudley Durzlov. That would be easy to do, but he can't do that. Obviously, he can't do that. It would clear him of all wrongdoing as far as I'm concerned. But he can't do that. He has to exist as a fighter, pissing everybody off but people in Chechnya. And if he does otherwise, it's the chopping block. It's Skyrim time for your ass. And that's some scary shit. So many Harry Potter references. I want to fly to Chechnya in a rusty Ford Taurus and rescue this man from the Durzlovs. He's literally Harry Potter. He's literally Russian Harry Potter. He's this amazing, spectacular wizard, one-of-a-kind wizard. They keep that fucker under the stairs like a dust mite, and all of his accomplishments have to go to this fat fucking nothing. It's just embarrassing that this fucking guy, look at how short his arms are. Oh, that's not his arms. That was the guy behind him. That's hilarious. I was gonna start ripping on this dude for having the shortest arms ever. Like straight up Rick and Morty character. No, that arm is, that's the arm of somebody behind him. Silly. I don't know, I kind of just want to end the video by insulting this kid a whole bunch. Let's see what we can think of. Oh my God. No. Who the f was that kid? Jimmy DeSanta. Oh my God, yes. That's what Khamzat's kid reminds me of. He's dressed like Jimmy DeSanta, sitting in a Pokemon Sapphire map. What the f? This is an entire ass meme. Oh, he's got guns on him too. Oh, watch out for this one. Watch out for guy who got his hair cut at Great Clips, whatever the Russian version of Great Clips is. All right, I guess I have a message to Ramzan Kadyrov and his kid. You're the dictator of an obscure country nobody cares about except for Khamzat Chimaev. Your kid is a zilch. I hope he steps on Legos every day. I hope Ukraine takes control of Chechnya and uses Kadyrov's sons as road signs. That's a Vlad the Impaler reference. I hope Jesus comes back and says, I'll take everyone whose last name isn't Kadyrov. I hope Putin slips on a banana peel and right as he's about to catch himself, he slips on another one. And most importantly, I hope Khamzat gets himself and his family out of that shithole country forever. Join us.